A very good evening to all of you. This is Hartaj from New Careers Academy. As you would have seen, what does it refers to? A 100-minute class which covers your union executive. Let's define what is my union executive. It would be the parliament, the president. We'll be discussing both the houses, Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. In this video, what we have added is infographics. Well, along with that, I have taken my extra liberty of giving you examples related to the same. Well, I agree it's a lengthy video, but to make it simpler for you, I have taken examples of real life from Parliament. And the best part of it is, I can promise you, it has never been done ever. You can refer any book and I'll give you more information in this video than has been referred in any book. So please pay attention to what is given, and I promise you it is bound to come in your examinations. Not a single thing away from this is going to come. Let's start with the video without wasting much time.
Let's start with it. So we're starting with Parliament of India. Okay. When I talk about Parliament of India, since we've already done it, I'll just like to go through it quicker. Parliament of India consists of which three people? That's the first question. कौन तीन लोग हैं? Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha, and the President of India. Yes or no? The Parliament of India is which article, by the way? ये हमारा article है 79. First question, which article is it? 79. Parliament of India में क्या क्या आता है? वो चीज important है. Parliament of India में तीन चीजें आती हैं. लोक सभा, राज्य सभा, and the President. President does not sit in Parliament, but he is the integral part, क्योंकि President के signature के बिना कोई भी bill it cannot be passed. So no bill can be passed, so no law can be made. What are the functions of President की बात करें, क्या क्या functions है? Every session is summoned, prorogued by the President. Summoning क्या होता है? हर एक session का पहला session बुलाना, हर एक session को खत्म करना. Equal to and cross का मतलब क्या है? Every session that you start and every session that you end will be done by President of India. He addresses both the houses. Lok Sabha as well as Rajya Sabha. He addresses both houses, Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. He delivers the first speech in the Parliament. पहली speech कौन deliver करता है? President. चाहे वो नए session की हो या फिर हर एक नए साल की speech कौन deliver करेगा? President of India. So this is the powers that we have. He can sign the bill, reject the bill, or send it back for reconsideration, जिसको बोलते हैं veto power. Veto power कौन सा article है हमारा? 111. That's the part for veto power. Is it clear? So no bill can become a law. What is the law? हम बात करें president की power in terms of the union executive. क्या power? Law, कोई भी law बनेगा नहीं जब तक president नहीं sign करेगा. तो उसके साइन रिजेक्ट करना या वापस करना किस पे डिपेंड करता है? प्रेसिडेंट पे. दूसरी चीज अगर हम बात करें, प्रेसिडेंट समन्स एवरी हाउस. हर एक सेशन को स्टार्ट और एंड कौन करेगा? प्रेसिडेंट. दो सेशंस के बिटवीन कितना गैप हो सकता है? नॉट मोर देन 6 months. हु मेक श्योर इट इज नॉट मोर देन 6 months? प्रेसिडेंट. हु डिसॉल्व्स द लोकसभा? प्रेसिडेंट. ओनली प्रेसिडेंट हैज द पावर टू डिसॉल्व द लोकसभा. हम बात करते हैं राज्यसभा की. राज्यसभा कौन सा है हमारा? आर्टिकल 80. बना कब था? इंडियन काउंसिल एक्ट 1919, 1919 में बना. व्हाट इज 1919 एक्ट नोन एज? मॉन्टेग-क्लेम्सफोर्ड. थोड़ा सा हिस्ट्री को रिलेट हो जाता है, थोड़ा सा वो हो जाता है. इसमें पहली बार क्या होता है मॉन्टेग-क्लेम्सफोर्ड में? बाइकैमरल लेजिस्लेचर. व्हाट इज बाइकैमरल मींस? एक अपर हाउस और एक लोअर हाउस. दो हाउसेस हैं, जो दो सदन हैं जो पास करते हैं बिल को, उसको बोलते हैं बाइकैमरल लेजिस्लेचर. तो ये किसमें बना? 1919. ओके. पहली बार वोटिंग कब स्टार्ट हुई? डायरेक्ट इलेक्शंस कब हुए? प्रोविजन ऑफ जनरल इलेक्शंस वाज स्टार्टेड इन 1935 गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया. तो हमारा बाइकैमरल लेजिस्लेचर 1919 में बना. राज्यसभा कब बन गया था? 1919. इज इट क्लियर और नॉट? राज्यसभा की बात करते हैं. राज्यसभा के डिफरेंट नाम क्या है? अपर हाउस, हाउस ऑफ एल्डर्स एंड 1951 में इनका नाम चेंज किया गया लोकसभा, राज्यसभा. पहले क्या था, हाउस ऑफ कॉमन एंड हाउस ऑफ पीपल एंड हाउस ऑफ स्टेट्स, उसको चेंज किया। राज्यसभा इज ऑल्सो कॉल्ड द हाउस ऑफ स्टेट्स बिकॉज इसमें जो चुनाव होते हैं वो डायरेक्ट होते हैं, इनडायरेक्ट, इट इज इनडायरेक्ट। सेकेंडली जो हमारी डेमोक्रेसी है वो क्या है, इनडायरेक्ट है, क्योंकि हम अपने लिए लॉ नहीं बनाते, हमारे लिए कौन लॉ बनाता है, हमारे चुने हुए आर इलेक्टेड रिप्रेजेंटेटिव्स, जिनको हम बोलते हैं हमारे चुने हुए सांसद, सांसद या विधायक। सांसद इज एमपी, विधायक इज एमएलए। स्टेट के जितने भी लॉ हैं, सांसद, संसद भवन, दैट्स व्हाई आई कॉल इट द पीपल हु रिप्रेजेंटेड, सांसद, संसद भवन। तो जो सेंट्रल रिलेटेड लॉज हैं वो कौन बनाएगा, पार्लियामेंट। जो स्टेट रिलेटेड लॉज है वो कौन बनाएगा, एमएलएस। दैट्स द डिफरेंस ऑफ द टू, दैट इज व्हाट वी कॉल द लोकसभा एंड द राज्यसभा, जो हमारे लॉज बनाते हैं। इनडायरेक्ट डेमोक्रेसी कैसे है, एनी लॉ व्हिच इज गोइंग टू गेट मेड दे डोंट आस्क अस, व्हिच इज वेरी ट्रू। हमारा पॉपुलेशन साइज 150, we are reaching approximately now 150 billion, no, we are reaching 1.5 billion. So when I reaching 1.5 billion, you cannot ask 1.5 billion people for their opinions. Is it clear? हाँ, the countries which are smaller in size, they have direct democracies. हमारे यहाँ पे डायरेक्ट डेमोक्रेसी नहीं है, क्योंकि हमसे तो पूछ नहीं सकते। US is also indirect. Australia is direct, New Zealand is direct. You have these countries becoming more of direct democracy. You ask the people whether you accept this law or not. But in our case, you cannot ask. Again, we will have to go through the voting process. It was a bill in 19 when Janta government was there. They wanted to make it as a direct democracy. The bill got rejected. The bill did not pass because the Janta government lost power. So there was only time during the Janta government it might have turned to a direct democracy. Are you in favor of direct democracy or not? I am not, because it would be too expensive. अब किसी को मैं बोलूं कि भाई हाँ सीए कानून क्या है, जीएसटी क्या है, how are you going to explain the entire people? So not everybody is educated, not everybody knows कि क्या हो रहा है क्या नहीं. It would become too expensive a process in our case. फिर हम बोलेंगे सिर्फ एजुकेटेड को करो, फिर बिकॉज हमने क्या बोल दिया, व्हेन वी टॉक अबाउट अ प्रीएम्बल वी से हर किसी को इक्वल राइट्स है ना, और ये डीपीएसपी में भी है, फंडामेंटल राइट सबके इक्वल है, फिर तो फंडामेंटल राइट इंक्रोच कर देंगे किसी को, तो वो तो हो नहीं सकता। तो हमने क्या बोला, डायरेक्ट डेमोक्रेसी तो इज इम्पॉसिबल, इनडायरेक्ट ही रहेगी। इफ डायरेक्ट वुड हैव बीन देयर, कोई भी बिल पास करना हो तो किससे पूछना जाएगा, तो अब how many of you go voting? Very few people go voting also. How many will go for this? Then the people who have the money power, it could have affected from foreign people also. They could have given money to influence the bill. So we see now social media is there, AI is there. So majority people get influenced by what? Social media. Nobody reads the newspapers. And very interestingly, it's a fact that 4 गुना फेक न्यूज ज्यादा लोग सच मानते हैं as compared to the right news. Because what fake news does, it has what? It is sensationalism. It is a bit of नमक मिर्ची जिसे बोलते हैं. So they feel, अच्छा नेहरू ऐसा था, ओ पक्का सही होगा, अच्छा गांधी ऐसा था. So that is the problem of it. So ये चीज करके हमने बोला डायरेक्ट डेमोक्रेसी नहीं है. राज्यसभा के चुनाव बड़े इंटरेस्टिंग है. इलेक्शंस ऑफ राज्यसभा वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग. व्हाट हैपेंस, इट इज इनडायरेक्ट इलेक्शंस. माय एमएलए गोज एंड वोट्स. इट इज नॉट अ सीक्रेट बैलेट. व्हाई इज इट नॉट अ सीक्रेट बैलेट? ओपन वोटिंग होती है. यू हैव टू शो द व्हिप, किसको वोट कर रहे हो. व्हिप क्या है? पार्टी अपने आप से एक आदमी को अपॉइंट करती है जो बताएगा कि वोटिंग करेक्ट किस सही जगह पे की है कि नहीं. So if you don't show, automatically the votes would be cancelled. As I said, कब बना सेकेंड हाउस, लोग राज्यसभा कब बना? 1990. 1935 में इसमें क्या इंट्रोड्यूस किया? डायरेक्ट इलेक्शंस. सेकेंड ऑफ ऑल कितने मेंबर्स हैं? 245. 12 members are chosen by president from the fields of literature, science, art. Is it clear? There is social service, but we don't have sports or anything. Just remember that. Next, how many members are there? अभी प्रेजेंट स्ट्रेंथ 245 है, वैसे कि मैक्सिमम स्ट्रेंथ क्या है? 250, 238 एंड 12 नॉमिनेटेड बाय द प्रेसिडेंट. करंट स्ट्रेंथ हमने कर दिया. सीट एलोकेशन कैसे है? अकॉर्डिंग टू प्रोपोर्शनल रिप्रेजेंटेशन ऑफ द पॉपुलेशन ऑफ द स्टेट्स. तो 1947 में अभी मैं ये कुछ आगे कराऊंगा. is guided by fourth schedule and according to population of each state. Remember, हमने पूछा अच्छा कौन से में allocation of seats in राज्यसभा है? Fourth schedule. कौन से में है? Fourth schedule. Let's revise the schedules. First schedule क्या कहता है हमें? भारत का नाम. Second क्या है? Salaries, emoluments. Third क्या है? Oaths. Fourth क्या है? Allocation of seats in राज्यसभा. चार अभी के लिए याद करो. पहला क्या है? भारत का नाम, states and everything. What's the second one? Salaries. If only I take salary, then I'll take an oath. Third is my oath. What is my fourth? Allocation of seats in Rajya Sabha. Is that clear? According to the population. Now we come to the process of election of Rajya Sabha. How many people are there? 245. 245 में 1/3 member resign कर देते हैं. 1/3 member याद रखना resign कर देते हैं after every 2 years. अगर मैं MP रहता हूँ मैं कितने साल तक रहूंगा? 6 years. ओके, एक और क्वेश्चन अब इसी से बनते हैं. मैं लोकसभा MP भी जीत गया, साथ ही साथ राज्यसभा MP भी जीत गया. I become an MP from both the houses. If I don't give up, there is a time period for 14 days. If I don't give up, automatically one MP would be cancelled. मेरी एक सदस्यता कैंसिल हो जाएगी. कौन सी हो जाएगी? राज्यसभा. Why? Because Rajya Sabha has how many years tenure? Is it clear? Now I am an MLA and an MP. Automatically 14 days time. If I don't get resignation, automatically which will be cancelled? Always the one which is bigger. Remember that. If I won 2 seats as an MP and in 14 days I don't resign, what will happen? Both cancelled. So remember this. Can you give any example of any person who has won both seats in Lok Sabha? PM Modi in 2014 won both Vadodara and Parliamentary. There is a limit to it, not because first they said there was a case also. So किसी ने बोला कि we should have only one seat. Why should we have one seat? Because if I win 2 seats, automatically I have to resign from one. So Prime Minister decided to resign from Vadodara, and then there were by-elections. Now by-elections क्या होता है? If my tenure for Rajya Sabha कितना tenure होता है? 6 years. For Lok Sabha is how much? If 6 months only are remaining, then there are no by-elections. If more than 6 months are remaining, then there will be by-elections. Yes, and suppose you, or let's talk about Prime Minister Modi. So the person who lost the Prime Minister decided to give away the Vadodara seat. Within 2 months, the election for Vadodara seat were held. The term has already started, 5 years. So 2 months were finished. So the MP now who was chosen from Vadodara would stay for 4 years and 10 months, not for 5 years. So if somebody is, I'm a Rajya Sabha MP, I resigned within 6 months. So how many years tenure is remaining? 5.5 years. Elections will be held and the person who gets elected in my place will stay as a MP for 5.5. At the first. So now the point is, why do we have 2 years? Is because in states the elections keep on happening. There might not be a government which is stable, or in 5 years the government changes. So it has to represent according to the people. So that is why if I was choosing somebody for 6 years, the government might be other one. 5 years, there's a UP government in Punjab. So it's representing all the MPs are coming from UP. Now it loses, but the MP gets to stay 1 year extra. So for that they did 2, 2, 2, 1/3 would keep on changing. You get to finish it. Why they said 2 years, 2 years, 2 years is because elections will happen. Now, I believe in Delhi, there was AAP who won majority. So all the 7 Rajya Sabha MPs were from AAP. Now they've lost. Yes or no? So now there'll be elections again for 1/3 of the seats of Delhi. The government has changed, so automatically now the MPs would be more from BJP and less from Aam Aadmi Party. That's it. Is it clear? So that's they had 2 years. 1/3 of the members will resign after every 2 years. It's a permanent house, cannot be dissolved, whereas Lok Sabha is a temporary house, can be dissolved. Is it clear? So again, when I talk about the process for elections, how do we vote in Rajya Sabha? My MLAs, it's indirect again. My Rajya Sabha MP is indirect. The people who I've chosen as MLA will now go and vote for an MP. But in this case, you have to show your vote. You don't put it in the ballot box. Is it clear or not? You don't put it in the ballot box. If you don't put it in the ballot, if you put directly, automatically your vote is cancelled. So by-elections, I've already said, by-elections will take place when? अगर tenure 6 महीने से ज़्यादा का है, if there is tenure is more than 6 months, by-elections will take place. If it is, suppose I resign after 5 years 9 months, only 3 months were remaining, then no by-elections, because that will not be the case. Is that clear or not? Clear or not? Duration of Rajya Sabha, everything done. Can we move ahead? Qualification. What should be the qualification? Article 84. पहला तो मुझे भारत का नागरिक होना चाहिए. I should be a citizen of India. Second, I should be 30 years of age. For Lok Sabha, what's the age? 25. Third, I should be of sound mind, sound body. I should not be in this. That's a disqualification, by the way, not qualification. Qualification क्या है? Citizen of India. Should be a registered voter. That is also there. Third, I should make an oath on given according to my third schedule. Is it clear? 30 years of age, must possess such other qualifications as prescribed by the behalf. अब हमारे यहाँ पे अभी कोई qualification prescribed नहीं है. I can be a Rajya Sabha MP even if I'm uneducated. तो हमने पंचायती राज में कई स्टेट्स ने बोल दिया मिनिमम 8+. हरियाणा में कर दिया था मिनिमम 8+. Generally, the purpose is when we said Rajya Sabha MP, we called it House of Elders. क्यों बोलते थे? कि people who are educated, the debates need to be good. That was the case. The people need to be educated. That was the case. Continue. Yes. लोक सभा की बात करते हैं. लोक सभा के चुनाव में हम डायरेक्टली वोट करते हैं, not in Rajya Sabha elections. We don't vote directly in Rajya Sabha elections. We vote in the Lok Sabha elections. Is it clear or not? अगर मैं बात करूं, how many seats do we have? 552. 530 कौन से हैं? Directly elected. 20 is for UTs. 2. Article 331 Anglo-Indians के लिए it was finished. Earlier it was there for Anglo-Indians. Now it is finished. So Anglo. 530 for the states, 20 is for UTs. UTs did not have population. That was the case. UTs did not have population. So 2 were for Anglo-Indians, which is there. Now the seats have been reserved. Just remember it how it is in reserved. First, we said 1 MP would represent 1 million population. That is 10 lakh. कितने हैं? 10 lakh. 1 MP represents how much population? Is it clear? 1 million, which is 10 lakh. But the population started growing, and in 1971, after 1971 census, we said the seats were at 552. So we said we cannot now continue more seats. हम तो इतनी seats नहीं दे सकते, because now what is happening? Each state is saying, keep on producing children. The population is increasing. Our schemes of controlling the population are not working. We said, okay, we are stopping it, and we are going to now bring an amendment which was the 42nd constitutional amendment which stopped the census to 1971, and this was to continue till 2001. Then was 84th constitutional amendment which stopped till 2026 according to the 1971 census. If you look today or yesterday's newspaper, who said that confident Prime Minister Modi will look into the southern states? Who said this statement? Concerns. Because southern states are saying if population is changing if the seats are changing according to the population, our seats are reducing. So are we getting punished for producing less children? Same will happen with Punjab, same will happen with Himachal, same will happen with Haryana. The seats are going to get reduced. Who is going to increase the seats? UP, Bihar, West Bengal, which other? Rajasthan, Maharashtra. These states are going to increase. All the south states are having problem. It is like you see, there are certain areas which are there. Population is there. So when we talk about like Andhra, Telangana, the population got control. Kerala worked on it. Tamil Nadu worked on it. I mean, like, the northern states, wherever, now it's also true. The states having higher GDP, their population control was better. The states having lower GDP, their population control was poorer. So the states are saying, what will happen to us? Our representation now reduces. So it's very clear. So that's what it is. Now, is it clear? Secondly, what was the earlier voting age? 21. It was changed to 18. By which constitutional amendment? We are talking about the 61st constitutional amendment, which was introduced in the year 1988. What they're saying is they could be, we are just contemplating, there could be a thing that could increase the seat by 25%. So every state seats increase by 25%. That could also be done. Nobody knows it. No, right? This will come only after which census? 2026 census. So the government is saying, I'm going to have census in 2026. So what are census? Jan Ganna. So it was introduced in which year? 1872. Pehli baar. Angrez leke aaye. Britishers got it. Under whom? Lord Mayo. 1881 was first official census. Ripon. Uske baad every census was after 10 years. Every census was after हर 10 साल बाद सेंसस होता है, जिसको हम बोलते हैं decennial census. It was stopped in 2021 because of COVID. Now the census are going to occur in 2026. So this is the case, and now we got to know two things. First of all, which act has stopped 2 seats reservation for 331 has been stopped. Secondly, we came to know what is the now voting age? 18. It was by the 61st constitutional amendment, and representation of UPs. Is it clear or not? Article 331 was abolished by which amendment? 104th constitutional amendment. Elections to the Lok Sabha. We will get to vote if we have a registered voter ID card. As soon as you turn 18, you get the voter ID card is now called the EPIC card. We'll be discussing this further, in which your photograph is there and your entire data is there. That's called the EPIC card. Okay. Now we come to duration of Lok Sabha. What's the duration of Lok Sabha? Maximum of 5 years. Can be extended only in emergency. If it's a national emergency, not a state emergency. Is it clear? Maximum duration 5 years. Can also depends on the pleasure of the president. If, say for example, tomorrow a government, there is a no confidence motion, the government will not go. The Prime Minister is not going to go to the president and say yourself, my government has lost power. So that is on the pleasure of the president, where he can work by himself. It's called the discretionary powers. What is the qualification of the members of Lok Sabha? Kitni age honi chahiye? 25 should be a citizen of India, and any oath prescribed by the third, and any law made by the parliament for an MP. Law could be anything. As I said, tomorrow we say only educated people will be allowed to fight the elections. Is it clear or not? That is the case. Okay, disqualification. How do I become disqualified? If I acquire citizenship of any other country. Second, my mind becomes unsound. Third, my body is unsound. Fourth, in discharge, insolvent. इसका मतलब क्या? Bankrupt. Or under RPA or any court convicts me for how many years? More than how many years? 2 years. Is it clear? I'll be disqualified. I told you also it was a case of Lalu Prasad Yadav in which he was convicted. He was the first person in which the Supreme Court had initially said that if any person is convicted more than 2 years, he'll be disqualified as an MP. इससे पहले क्या होता था? डिस्क्वालिफिकेशन नहीं होती थी. MP क्या बोलता था? मैं तो भी लोअर कोर्ट से डिस्क्वालिफाई. लोअर कोर्ट ने मेरे अगेंस्ट चार्जेस बोले, मैं हाई कोर्ट में जाऊंगा. हाई कोर्ट के बाद by the time he's dead. A very good example, a sitting chief minister, not a sitting chief minister was also found in a corruption case. This law was passed. Otherwise, she would have continued. Which chief minister am I talking about? She could not have fought elections. पहले तो अपना लाइफ जो आपका टेन्योर है वो फाइट करना है. उसके बाद आपको कूलिंग पीरियड मिलता है जहां पे आप इलेक्शन नहीं लड़ सकते. फर्स्ट इज अ टेन्योर. कैन यू गिव मी दिस? Who is this? What we are talking about? किस पर्सन? दो लोग थे, दो चीफ मिनिस्टर्स हो चुके हैं अभी तक में, जयललिता एंड ओम प्रकाश चौटाला. More property than the funds. He died, but he was convicted. He was not in power, so he could not fight elections. It is more property than your wealth allows you to. So basically, there was corruption and everything. So there's when you cannot disclose the sources of income and you say I have more property than that. Is it clear? So this was the case of it. So you had these people. Second of all, I cannot fight elections. So जितने time की मेरे को वो मिलती है, उतने time तक मेरे को I cannot fight elections. Is it clear? So these are things that we know. Next, Rajya Sabha functionaries. Who is the Rajya Sabha head? Ex-officio chairman कौन है? Vice President. Then is the deputy chairman. Who's the head of Lok Sabha? Speaker. Then it's a deputy speaker. Who decides the salaries of an MP? Who decides the salaries of an MP? It is the parliament by law. Yesterday it came that Pakistan also increased their salaries. Is it clear? That was the case. Next, oath. You take oath. Who takes the MP's oath? The presiding officer. The oath is given in which schedule? Third schedule. What do you say? I bear true faith and allegiance to the Constitution of India, uphold the sovereignty and faithfully discharge my office. ये पूछ सकते हैं इसमें से कौन सी नहीं है. That is what they can ask. Of course, everybody who is going to be a part of this is politics only. This is like all the motions are the same, everything is the same. Okay, we continue. If I'm not taken an oath, I cannot vote in the parliament. I may be an MP. So how do you become an MP? Very interesting thing. He gets charged 250 rupees per day. Fine. 500 rupees per day fine. He cannot vote. His vote will not be counted. So an MP, how do you become an MP? Let me give you a process. I fight an election. In India, the elections are first past the post system. कौन सा है? First past the post. So whosoever wins the election, no matter what percentage he gets he becomes an MP. There's also what we say security deposit. कि non ऐसी कोई भी आदमी वोट should not come and fight an election who is not qualified enough, या फिर who is just fighting elections for the purpose of it. We should only have serious candidates. So if any MP or MLA does not get 1/6% of votes polled, he has to forfeit the money he deposited for the election. Clear or not? It's not much. It's 15,000. For SC/ST candidates, there is no money. But for the general, it will be 15,000, which he has to submit. If he does not get 1/6 of the votes polled, what happens to his money? It goes to the RP. Clear or not? It is to make sure that non-serious candidates do not. What is the case? First past the post system. Is everybody clear? First past the post system क्या होता है? जिसको सबसे ज़्यादा votes पड़ी वो जीत गया. That's it. Now we continue with who's the chairman of Rajya Sabha. Who's the chairman of Rajya Sabha? Automatically the vice president. He does not get the salary as vice president. He gets a salary as chairman of Rajya Sabha. Speaker. What happens in the case of speaker? Speaker finishes when the Lok Sabha finishes. Lok Sabha का tenure खत्म हो गया, speaker भी खत्म हो गया, MP खत्म हो गया. He gets his salary as ex officio chairman of Rajya Sabha. There is no salary of vice president. The vice president is India's ex officio chairman. During any period, the vice president, he gets his salary as ex officio chairman. The salary is prescribed not as vice president, but ex officio chairman of Rajya Sabha. Is it clear? Now, if the president is not there, who becomes the president? Vice president. Is it clear? So who cannot fight the election? Sorry. He cannot fight the elections. Who? The president. If the president is not there, vice president now becomes the president. So then there is no ex officio chairman. He will not. He'll get all the powers that the president is there. Deputy chairman is already there. Now, deputy chairman is also chosen from Rajya Sabha. They vote. All the MPs vote amongst themselves and choose a deputy chairman. Now, if chairman is not there, deputy chairman is not there, they choose 10 people or vice chairpersons, out of which the senior most member, if he is available in the house, automatically would be at the chair. Chair का मतलब है कोई ना कोई तो पढ़ाएगा, कोई ना कोई तो responsibility लेगा. So whenever somebody is sitting on the chair, he enjoys the power just like the speaker or the presiding officer. Clear or not? He can kick out anybody. He can do whatever he feels like. Is it clear or not? Any person sitting on the chair is given the power. Who is the Speaker of Lok Sabha? Article 93 talks about Speaker of Lok Sabha. Who chooses the date of election of Speaker of Lok Sabha? The President. As soon as the elections of Lok Sabha happens, the President will then choose a date for Speaker of Lok Sabha. The Lok Sabha Speaker, even if the government falls, the Speaker will remain as the Speaker till the new government comes in and chooses a new Speaker. Remember this. A very good example, Maharashtra. When Uddhav Thackeray resigned, the Speaker at that time was Uddhav Thackeray's government. He stayed as the Speaker. Only when the new government came, they changed him. Is it clear? So that is the case of it. Speaker of Lok Sabha tenure, what's article? 93. So during the very first session of the Lok Sabha, Speaker is chosen. Who chooses the date? But all MPs have to be given oath. So who takes their oath before the Speaker? Pro term Speaker. Who's the pro term Speaker? The senior most member is called the pro term Speaker. The senior most member is called the pro term Speaker. Is it clear? Now, my next question to you is, Jayalalitha's career was almost over. Why do I say almost over? Because once you're convicted, so पहले तो आपको जितने साल आपने जेल काटनी है वो तो करनी है, उसके बाद एक और टेन्योर होता है. कितने ईयर का कूलिंग पीरियड होता है? 6 years. You cannot fight election for another 6 years. After, you will be dead by then. Everybody will be dead by then. So automatically, almost political career is over. So this happened with a very good example. They are very strict about it. And who decides this qualification? Who decides the disqualification? The presiding officer. Who decides this disqualification? The presiding officer. Disqualification क्या होता है कि अगर आप कोई भी you don't fit any of the limits of the जो हमने laws बनाए हुए लोकसभा राज्यसभा के, if you don't fit in that, automatically you'll be disqualified. Automatically what will happen? You will be disqualified. ये clear है कि नहीं? Let's understand Speaker of Lok Sabha. Article कौन सा है? 93. Speaker of Lok Sabha बोलता है Article 93. Speaker of Lok Sabha, the first election is chosen. Now let me give you an example of present day politics. जो हमने अभी बात किया थी cooling period और and disqualification कौन decide करता है? Rahul Gandhi in one of the speeches said Modi चोर है. So somebody filed a case against him, contempt petition. चौकीदार चोर है, मोदी चोर है. So जो आदमी ने इलेक्शन जो फाइल किया था कंटेम्प्ट पिटिशन कोर्ट में, उसने बोला इसने हमारे सरनेम को गाली दी है, मोदी सरनेम, एंड डेफेमेशन चार्ज फाइल किया. डेफेमेशन में सबसे बड़ी सजा 2 years प्लस होती है, उसको वो 2 years दे दी. नाउ व्हाट विल हैपन? विल ही बी डिस्क्वालिफाइड? Will he be disqualified? First question. Will he be disqualified? Yes. But he'll be disqualified if only speaker accepts it. Remember this. He'll be only disqualified if speaker accepts it. The same time, there was a BJP MP who, from Andaman Nicobar, was also given a tenure more than 2 years in the lower court. So speaker did not accept it because in High Court it was proved the other way. Rahul Gandhi went to the High Court, then to the Supreme Court. Supreme Court said, sorry, this is too obnoxious, but I will give 2 years. So we'll keep on continuing. Defamation is correct, but we don't consider the 2-year thing.
Sir,
Yes.
I have a doubt.
Yeah.
So, a recent case where a law student was arrested by Kolkata police. Like, she was not residing in Kolkata though. She
Who?
was in Gurgaon. She, for defamation only, I guess. She spoke something against Islam people. So, the West Bengal government went all the way to Gurgaon to capture her. So, is that like constitutional? Is that allowed? Like,
This is Operation Sindoor one you talk.
yeah. She said something regarding this only. So, the West Bengal police went all the way to Gurgaon to capture her.
You can capture anybody, any place.
So
what
why
do you
not
do?
Gurgaon police captured her? Like,
I'll tell you. In
Yeah.
this process, understand it very carefully. I suppose somebody hits me here. Somebody is here and hits me here and goes to some other state. So what do? I write a written petition here. The police is then going to take action. The police will first ask, go to the Gurgaon police station. They will go to the police station and the circle officer tell him that we need to arrest this person. He is residing here. Once that written permission comes from the circle officer, then they can go and arrest. Without that permission, they cannot. A very good example, I'll give you more of it. So this is very simple and there are very good questions related to this. This process also comes. They have also asked what's the difference between judicial custody and a regular police custody. What's the difference between judicial custody and police custody? They've asked these questions. What's the difference between police custody and judicial custody? They've asked these questions. Judicial custody is, say for example, if the judge says, I send you to 14 days judicial custody. So police custody, the judge can give you either police custody or judicial custody. In police custody, the police don't have to go to the judge again and again to ask, when can I interrogate him? They can interrogate you for 48 hours also. They can make you up for 48 hours. In judicial custody, you go to the jail. In that time, if the police has to investigate, they'll have to take a permission, they have to take a time to investigate things from you. That's the difference between judicial custody and police. They ask you such processes also. A very good example is, in this case, there was a BJP leader, Tajinder Bagga, from Delhi. So he said something against Kejriwal. So which government is in Punjab? Somebody filed a complaint here. Punjab police from here went all the way to which place? Delhi. Got him out of his house and decided to take him back to Punjab. He was stopped midway in Haryana. Technically, should not happen. Secondly, technically, he cannot be arrested without the Delhi government or the Delhi police. He was arrested without Delhi police. They were not involved. And Haryana police has nothing to do with it because Haryana just is in between. There is nothing that Haryana police has. Haryana police stopped the Punjab police. You can go, but you have to go to the magistrate. First, the magistrate. The magistrate will give you permission. He will then go to the circle officer. With the circle officer, you have to go there and arrest. That's the process they did not follow. वही तो बोल रहा हूँ. You can come, but you have to give a that thing. Orders है ना. तो अगर आप दिल्ली से order ले लेते और दिल्ली जुडिस वहां से उसको जुडिस्टेशन से पकड़ा है, ठीक है, perfect है. So, but that's the case of it. So Haryana police has nothing. Delhi police interfering is absolutely correct. Haryana police, because the politics was there, but that's the case of it. So this is the process. Since Masi was asking this question, that's exactly what happens. You first go to the magistrate, you take a permission, then you go to the circle officer. The circle officer will go with you to arrest that person. From that state, then you can continue. That was not in the parliament, that was spoken in the speech. He gave a public speech in Gujarat, election campaigning, so that's where it is. So that's where it happened. Now, it's, as I said, the disqualification is dependent on who decides the disqualification charges under RPA. 10th schedule of disqualification, who decides it? The presiding officer. So he decided quickly. Yeah, done. He said, vacate your house. Today, you are no longer an MP. So for 2 months, he had to fight. Then, what happened? The Supreme Court overruled it. So then he was again made as an MP. Presiding officer is always from the ruling party. Speaker would always be from the ruling party. The deputy speaker comes from the opposition. Right now, first we said speaker elections. Who is generally the speaker? He's an MP only. In Britain, if you are becoming the speaker, you resign from your party. In India, you don't resign from your party. You are supposed to be neutral. Now, to remove a speaker, the petition can only start in Lok Sabha. When the petition starts, he cannot preside, but he can speak and he can vote. What is the tenure of the speaker? He can vote against himself, for himself. So he's sitting there. Is it clear or not? Okay, next, tenure. His tenure is during the continues even after dissolution until new speaker is elected by the next Lok Sabha. गवर्नमेंट फॉल हो जाती है, 2 years बचे थे, नई गवर्नमेंट आती है तो ऑटोमेटिकली मैंने आपको उद्धव ठाकरे का भी केस बताया. अगर स्पीकर को रिजाइन करता हूँ, who does he give the resignation to? Deputy speaker. There is no deputy speaker right now. So who does it give it to? Lok Sabha secretary. Lok Sabha secretariat will be there. Is there IS officers lobby? That has to be there. Ceases to be a member of Lok Sabha. इसी का चुनाव गलत डिक्लेयर करते कोर्ट, बोलते 2 years plus. Is it clear? Removed by passing a resolution and requires 14 days. So during the resolution, what he can do? He can sit and he can vote, but cannot preside. What are the powers the speaker enjoys? Any money bill can only be certified by speaker. So Lok Sabha mein hi money bill pass hota hai. Rajya Sabha has no power. So speaker technically has now more powers than vice president, because he's the one deciding which is the money bill or a regular bill. Is it clear? Speaker is also very high in the order of precedence. Sixth hota, I think so. Okay. Presides over joint session. Joint session कौन सा article है? 108. What are the powers the speaker has? 110. Any disqualification under the 10th schedule is decided by speaker. A very good example to you, I said, who was disqualified under the 10th schedule? The court said, okay, RPA के अंदर, if any person is disqualified for more than 2 years, मतलब कि कोर्ट बोलते 2 साल से ज्यादा की सजा है, तो आप डिस्क्वालीफाई हो जाओगे. कौन डिसाइड करता है डिस्क्वालिफिकेशन? स्पीकर. तो 2 साल से ज्यादा की सजा आई, किसी ने पिटिशन दे दिया स्पीकर को कि भाई इसको तो होगी है, तो who's to decide? Speaker. But at the same time, आंध्रा का एक MP था बीजेपी का. He was involved in, I think, the murder case. He was given more than 2 years, but speaker did not accept it. He said, I have to look into it because speaker is not to be. He's again cannot be taken to court. Court will only say, okay, now decide in this much time. Is it clear or not? So these are constitutional laws. Parliamentary function: admits a motion or rejects. Admits कौन सा motion? A cut motion. Cut motion कब होता है? Budget. No confidence motion. Contains order and decorum. क्या करता है? बैठ जाइए, माननीय सदस्य बोलिए. This will not be recorded in house. Is also decided by speaker. Continues in office even after dissolution. Dissolution का मतलब होता है dissolving of Lok Sabha, not खत्म. Administrative function: appoints chairmen of various committees and 3 committees का खुद chairman होता है. कौन सा? Rules, public, general purpose and business advisories. Back RCB याद रख लेना. Back RCB से याद रख लेना. कौन सा हो गया? B से business advisory. Back RCB से rules committee. GPC general purpose committee. 3 का ऑलरेडी चेयरमैन होता है. कौन सा? Back RCB. B A advisory. R rules. GPC. Speakers of Lok Sabha. Who's the present speaker? Om Birla. The first female speaker? Meera Kumar. Deputy Speaker of Lok Sabha. The Deputy Speaker of Lok Sabha generally comes from opposition. Is it clear? Deputy Speaker of Lok Sabha generally comes from opposition. It was not initially the norm. For this, what happens again? Voting happens. The name is generally chosen by the Deputy Speaker of the single largest opposition party. किसका होता है? Single largest opposition party. So where is the Deputy Speaker from? Single largest opposition party. अभी भी chosen नहीं किया और पिछली बार तो नहीं होना था because opposition party होने के लिए आपको क्या चाहिए? Strength 1/10 of Lok Sabha और generally it is 1/10 अगर दो parties 1/10 हो, एक की 60 हो, एक का 57 हो, तो 60 वाले का opposition leader बनेगा, 60 वाले का deputy speaker बनेगा. Clear? So when we talk about deputy speaker, it was generally was added and finally it was decided that what will happen? There will be a what? Opposition party का consensus से decide किया गया कि किस में से बनेगा? It will be from the opposition party. Is it clear? The 17th Lok Sabha was the only Lok Sabha not having the deputy speaker. ये भी important है, देखो. It was the only Lok Sabha not given in any books. Which Lok Sabha? 17. Just remember from 17th Lok Sabha, there was no deputy speaker. The first deputy speaker, they can ask, write it down. That is also not given. M. Iyengar. M. Iyengar. He was the first deputy speaker. the 17th Lok Sabha is the case when it was the only time when there was no deputy speaker. Okay. If the speaker is not there, he decides he gets all the powers of this one. He gets all the powers of what? Speaker. When the speaker is not there. Is it clear? This is the cases when we talk in terms of deputy speaker. Next, leader of the House of Lok Sabha. Who's the leader of the House? Generally the Prime Minister in Lok Sabha. He could be chosen from Rajya Sabha if any, like in case of Manmohan Singh. He is the leader of the House in Rajya Sabha. He can choose any member. If he's not in the Rajya Sabha, he can choose any member in Lok Sabha to become the leader of the House. Same as the case in case of Rajya Sabha. What is the purpose of the Prime Minister? Basically, government running. He also has to deal with opposition. That's why you also have another minister known as Parliamentary Affairs Minister, who's basically helping the Prime Minister deal with opposition. He goes and talks to the Parliament, to the opposition. कि चलो Parliament run करने देते हैं, जो आपकी debate होएगा हम allow करते हैं. That's. He also chooses individual ministers. Who appoints a minister? Suppose defense minister appoint करना, कौन appoint करेगा? The president on the advice of the Prime Minister. Don't say just the Prime Minister. Every minister is appointed. Any central government minister is appointed by the president on the advice of the Prime Minister. Any state minister is appointed by the governor on the advice of the chief minister. Right? President क्यों करेगा? Etc. is appointed on the chief minister. Simple. Central government. So everybody has to say yes to Modi ji. Why? Because Modi ji is the one giving the names. To whom? The president. The president then decides, okay, this is okay. Clear or not? A minister gives his resignation to whom? I am the MOD. Rajnath Singh will give his resignation to which person? As a minister, you'll give it to the president. If I want to finish my MP, I'll give it to the speaker or the presiding officer. MP का आप किसी को भी दे सकते हो. You don't give it to the prime minister. If you're a minister, you give it to the president. Who appointed you? That's it. On the advice, this is where the question is going to be very confusing. Who appoints the ministers? The president on the advice of the prime minister. Same way, any minister has to resign. He has to give his resignation to the president. Yes. Oath is also taken by the president. All ministers' oath is taken by the president. All MPs' oath is taken by the speaker. But I am as a minister, I'm getting extra powers. For extra powers, somebody else is going to take the oath. Who's this person? President. So everything is run by the president, technically. But who is giving all the authority to the president? The prime minister. He says, okay, listen to me, you have to do this. These are the ministers I'm appointing. That's why when Prime Minister Modi had a swearing-in ceremony, or any chief minister has a swearing-in ceremony, who's standing next to him? The governor. Chief minister में कौन खड़ा होता है? Governor. Prime Minister के time पे कौन खड़ा होता है? President. Prime Minister अपनी oath देता है. Similarly, other members also come, they take the oath. Who's taking the oath? The president. So similarly, a minister will not give a resignation. The Prime Minister might say to a minister, give a resignation now. There are many posts like that. That's not non-constitutional. So like that, like cabinet secretary, prime minister. ये सब दो है. PMO office सारा prime ministers के अंदर होता है. That he doesn't require the president's signature. Is it clear? So there are many posts appointed by the prime minister also. But when we talk about the executive post, is it clear or not? Major of it. Who's the leader of opposition? सबसे पहले तो leader of opposition का same है. 1/10 members होने चाहिए. According, this is given. कहाँ पे given है? Salaries and allowance of leaders of opposition act and recognized in both Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. What's the strength? 1/10. The leading opposition party जिसकी ज़्यादा strength होगी वो 1/10 पे that person will be. He is the only person apart from the ministers who enjoys all the powers of the ministers. So if the prime minister's house is here, the leader of opposition house is next to him. He gets all the privileges of the ministers. Clear or not? Same as the case of Chief Minister. Next to the Chief Minister's house would be Leader of Opposition's house. Generally. Where? Yeah, there is Leader of Opposition states also. So they also get the same powers, privileges. But you have minimum strength required is 110. The term whip is not given in the constitution, but whip means chabuk. Chabuk का मतलब वो purpose यही है कि हर किसी को बोलना आज ये करना आज ये करना. Today you will have to vote in my favor, so everybody has to vote. It is to basically maintain parliamentary democracy. Is it clear? So you tend to maintain parliamentary democracy. Each party appoints its whip, whether चाहे वो political opposition हो, चाहे. Is it clear or not? Next, functions. Acts as a assistant floor leader. Attendance of party members ये check करते हैं voting as per party directive हुआ है कि नहीं. What are the rights of ministers and attorney general? So there are certain rights a minister enjoys. Only a minister. I may be an MP, I don't enjoy. Only a minister or an attorney general can sit in both Lok Sabha and Prime Minister can speak both in Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. But he'll vote only in the House he is a member of. He can also defend both in Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. Just S. J. Shankar only go to Rajya Sabha. He also goes to Lok Sabha. He's a member of Rajya Sabha. Same way, defense minister goes to both Lok Sabha and Amit Shah goes to both Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. So as a minister, I can speak in both the houses, but I only vote in the house as a member. Is it clear? A minister can speak in a house even if he is not a member. A minister who is not a member of either the house can still participate in the proceedings. Okay. If I'm not a member of Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, I can still become a minister. But for how much time do I need to become a minister? 6 months I have to win either Lok Sabha or otherwise. So there was a chief minister, one, and then he resigned to become a minister. Who is this person? Chief Minister था किसी state का. He's credited for giving India S-400 and defense. He started the process. A very honest person. Become the defense minister from Goa. Manohar Parrikar was the one who was credited for it. The last image of him was having a pipe sticking out, still walking with the support. So he was the one who credited India for, he was the one who basically talked for S-400 and defense. So that time, he was a chief minister. The government wanted him to become the defense minister. He resigned from chief minister. So of course, he cannot be a member of Lok Sabha. And so he became the defense minister at that time. That was okay. So parliamentary privileges. If I'm a parliamentarian, what are the privileges? सबसे पहले तो हमने बात किया ministers की क्या power है. अकेले ministers हैं जो both Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha में जाके बात कर सकते हैं. They can vote only in the house they're a member of. Even if I'm not a member of Lok Sabha or Rajya Sabha, I'm a minister, I can participate in both the houses. Because who has to defend? When we talk about question hour, who's going to ask questions? The MPs. Who's going to defend? The government. Who is the government? The ministers. Is it clear or not? Who is the government? The ministers. In India, whether in Lok Sabha or Rajya Sabha. More chances are Rajya Sabha because somebody will resign. Where you have majority, you can easily become a minister. That's not a problem. Is it clear? So we have the following terms of it. Next, we come to the next one is parliamentary privileges and immunities. It ensures authority, dignity, members. Okay, what are the individual privileges? First of all, 40 days I cannot become a juror during the session of the parliament. Secondly, I am exempted from jury service, no summons as a witness during the parliament session. These are the two privileges. Individuals or privileged ministers, freedom of speech. Whatever I speak within the house, it cannot be used against me in the court. I speak in the house. I can say anything in the house. If I'm saying anything wrong, speaker will expunge the remarks. Expunge मतलब कि there's nothing on record. जो स्पीकर बोलता है nothing is going on record, इसका मतलब क्या होता है? हर एक चीज जो आप बोलते हो, everything that you're speaking is recorded in the Lok Sabha and there are archives of it. So all the past archives are kept. What were the debates of Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha? Everything is kept. So when the speaker says nothing is going on record, it means what you're speaking is not going on record. If you abuse someone, no abusive language is allowed. Who will expunge it? The speaker. Freedom of speech, immunity from court proceedings, freedom from arrest, 40 days prior to this. Office of profit. If I have to be an MP or a minister, I cannot have office of profit. What is office of profit? I cannot have a government job. So it is 102(1) for Parliament and 191. Just to remember it, कोई भी state का याद करना है, plus क्या कर दो? 191. 102 plus 89. 102 किसका है? MP का. MLA क्या हो जाएगा? 191. I should not have any post, salaries, allowance, perks, benefits intended to have conflict of interest. Sessions of Parliament. 3 sessions होते हैं Parliament. कौन सा? सबसे पहले तो होता है बजट. बजट के बाद क्या कौन सा आएगा? मॉनसून. मॉनसून के बाद क्या आएगा? विंटर. Winter is the shortest, longest is the budget session. Is it clear or not? Which is longest? Budget. Which is the shortest? Winter. There cannot be more than 6 months gap between 2 sessions. Who make sure that this is not president? This summoning of session means starting of session. Prorogation means खत्म होना. Is it clear? Adjournment क्या होता है? कौन करता है? Speaker करता है. Summoning कौन करता है? President. हर एक सांसदों को पहला सेशन का संदेश भेजेगा कौन? Will send it president. He said, please come attend the proceedings of parliament. कौन करेगा ये? Moving ahead, हमने बात किया हर एक सेशन को खत्म कौन करेगा? प्रेसिडेंट. Adjournment कौन करता है? स्पीकर. हमने बोला कि हम स्थगित कर देते हैं सेशन को थोड़ी देर के लिए. Could be 10 minutes, 20 minutes जो ब्रेक बोलते हैं जिसे. अगर स्पीकर सेज adjournment sign dying, इसका मतलब क्या है कि जो भी काम हो रहा था वो सब खत्म हो गया है, इससे ज्यादा सेशन लगाने की जरूरत नहीं. इसको फर्दर क्या बोल देते हैं? फिर फर्दर क्या हो जाएगा? prorogation, which is done by the president. There are 2 terms. Adjournment is done by speaker. If the speaker says adjournment sign dying, that means everything of the sessions are finished. We don't need to discuss more. How many sessions are there? Which one? सबसे पहले बजट, फिर क्या है? विंटर, फिर क्या आएगा? Quorum. Minimum strength required 110. Quorum is the minimum strength required 1. Parliamentary sessions and lapses, we've already discussed. Parliamentary session कौन सा है? First is budget. दूसरा क्या है? Third, recess. The break between 2 sessions is called the recess. अब ये बहुत important है. Speaker की powers क्या है? First article. What? 108, 110, and any disqualification under which article? 10 schedule. Only 2 types of bill lapse. Lok Sabha gets dissolved, then the bill lapse. A bill is gone to Lok Sabha and the Lok Sabha dissolves, the bill lapse. Bill is passed by Lok Sabha, is pending in Rajya Sabha, automatically that also lapses. Every other situation, the bill will not lapse. 2 situations. Lok Sabha में bill गया हो, automatically lapse कर जाएगा because Lok Sabha dissolve होगी तो bill ही खत्म. The present government decides to bring a bill. लोक सभा का टाइम पीरियड खत्म हो गया, बिल तो खत्म हो जाएगा because new लोक सभा will look into new bill. Secondly, a bill passed by Rajya Sabha goes to Lok Sabha. It will also get, bill passed by Lok Sabha goes to Rajya Sabha because the old bill was passed by the old Lok Sabha. So Rajya Sabha can reject the bill. So that's also lapses. But every other case, the bill. Is it clear? Joint session. Joint session is which article? 108, in which both Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha sit. Where do they sit? और किस बिल्स पे बैठेंगे? सिर्फ 3 टाइप्स के बिल. ऑर्डिनरी बिल, Financial Bill 1, Financial Bill 2, which is 117.1 and 117.2. Because Constitutional Amendment Bill पे there is no joint session, because in which Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha enjoy equal power. In case of money bill, who has the power? Only Lok Sabha. So that's why you cannot have joint session for them. Joint session कौन से तीन bills पे होता है? Ordinary bill, Financial Bill 1 and Financial Bill. That's it. Yes. Any bill, constitution amendment can only happen if there is 50% plus majority or simple majority. In some cases, there is absolute majority required. But any case, any house rejects the bill, the constitution amendment bill becomes cancelled, nullified. Either house. That's the case. Money bill only who has the power, Lok Sabha. In either Lok Sabha or Rajya Sabha, any case. Is it clear? Understand joint session, Article 100 and joint session happens in Article 108 if which three conditions, which three bills? Ordinary bill, Financial Bill 1, Financial Bill 2. Ordinary bill, which is joint session, Article 108, who presides? Speaker. Speaker is not there, Deputy Speaker. If Deputy Speaker is not there, Deputy Chairman. If Deputy Chairman is not there, any person appointed by the both the houses. Who generally will win? Lok Sabha, because Lok Sabha has more strength. Any doubts? Who will win? Lok Sabha. Special address by the President. The first session of every session or first session is always addressed by the President. First session of every house. कोई भी लोक सभा नहीं आए, पहला सेशन कौन एड्रेस करेगा? प्रेसिडेंट. हर एक साल का नया सेशन कौन एड्रेस करता है? प्रेसिडेंट. Motion of thanks. That's called presidential speech or motion of thanks. That's the first speech that the president gives every year. Any Lok Sabha, which new Lok Sabha comes, who addresses the session? The president. So there have been 3 times the joint session was there. Which 3 times? 1960 dowry prohibition, banking services, so and so. Is it clear? Next, what is lame duck session? Last session of Lok Sabha, or when the new Lok Sabha takes place, the old MPs who are resigning or moving away for the photographs, they're just getting the photographs clicked. They're called lame ducks because they did not win the elections. They are no longer part of the parliament. That is what we say. Parliamentary proceedings. Different parliamentary proceedings are there in the parliament. Sorry? वो एक फोटोग्राफ होती है, ग्रुप फोटोग्राफ होती है. हर एक लोकसभा की ग्रुप फोटोग्राफ होती है, हर एक राज्यसभा की ग्रुप फोटोग्राफ होती है. राज्यसभा में तो स्पीच पहले ही दे देते हैं. जब एमपी का लास्ट सेशन होता है ना, तो सबको 2 इयर्स हो जाते हैं, वो तो अटेंड करें, तो वो सिर्फ फोटोज के लिए होता है. जैसे कि अब लोकसभा चल रही थी, सो दैट इज वेयर द बाय बाय सबको बोलना होता है कि ये होता है. दैट्स जस्ट अ पार्लियामेंट्री थिंग. सिमिलरली अब राज्यसभा में क्या होता है, 2 साल हो जाते हैं, बिल्कुल एंड में ना कि ओ दीज पार्लियामेंटेरियंस आर गोइंग, और चुने नहीं गए, उनको क्या बोलेंगे? उनका लास्ट सेशन है, उनको लेम डक्स बोल देते हैं कि ओके बाय बाय, बहुत बुरा लगा. सिमिलरली मनमोहन सिंह वाज आल्सो गिवन अ यूलोजी. ही वाज अ राज्यसभा एमपी टिल द एज ऑफ 90 समथिंग, जस्ट एंड द लास्ट अभी 1 साल से नहीं थे बिफोर ही डाइड. सो वे राज्यसभा एमपी फ्रॉम असम. Even Prime Minister eulogized him for the fact that when it came to major debates, he would come even on a wheelchair. So there was a eulogy for him. So when the party says like, look, whatever you say about Manmohan Singh, the best foot soldier for Congress, because when the Congress would need him to vote, he would even come in a wheelchair and vote. He didn't have the strength to walk and everything. So, but a very good foot soldier. So, but when a party issues a whip, automatically this happens. Similarly, when the nuclear 1-2-3 agreement was there, now India is looking forward to the making more and more nuclear energy. This was passed during Manmohan Singh's first term, 2009 May. The CPI government or the CPI backed out, saying that we are not supporting nuclear energy. First time, फर्स्ट टर्म 2009 की थी या 2004 to 2009 थी ना, 2008 में हुआ था ये बिल, न्यूक्लियर 123 agreement. CPI backed out. BJP was not, of course, opposition will never work for it. That time, Samajwadi Party supported Manmohan Singh. This dreaded MP who was in jail also came. He was a part of the Samajwadi Party and he voted in favor of the government. Atiq Ahmed, you know this. He was in jail, so he. No, you're allowed. See, it's voting. You have been. Now the point is, there were charges against him. He's in the jail, not convicted. I can only be an MP if I'm not convicted. Is it clear? Dreaded criminal. Everybody knows it. Dreaded criminal. I'm saying it. But he was in jail. So of course the permission is given whenever voting for such things are happening. Especially came from jail, from Surat to Delhi, voted in favor of the government, whether he did not know. A person like him would not know 123 agreement also, but voted and went back. I think so. That's the only good thing that he's done in his life. Probably. Is it clear? So that's an example of it. Is it clear? So that's what a whip does. Tells you have to come today vote. Similarly, there are two MPs which are presently in jail, but still MPs, not convicted. They're charged. Can you name these two MPs right now? अभी भी दो MPs हैं, एक पंजाब से है और एक जम्मू कश्मीर से. There are two MPs. No, Pindrawala. Where is Pindrawala? There are two MPs right now who are convicted, not convicted, who are charged. Charged is when somebody ने, as he said, ilzam lagaya, sorry. Okay. This both are under major serious laws in which there is no bail given for 1 year. What is that law? Sedition law. Sedition. So NSA, National Security Act के अंदर, if you're caught in that, automatically you cannot be given a bail for 1 year. Same way Sanjay Dutt could not be given a bail no matter what you tried, because if you that time that was a law known as TAD Act. So for that time, come out May, you cannot be given a bail. Both are charged for it. National Security Act and this. So under NSA, both are put in. Both were allowed to even specially come all the way from jail. Amritpal is in, like, I think so, Assam. And I think so, Engineer Rashid from Jammu and Kashmir is in Dehar. Both were allowed to come, especially from jail. They took their oath as an MP and went back to jails. So similarly, so when they have to come for voting, they're called in, they vote, they go back. So there's different between charged and NSA Act cannot get you bail. So if you're charged on NSA, it's very difficult to get bail. They are charged. The court has to prove the charges. So since they are already charged, they cannot be let go. Clear? Now we come to parliamentary proceedings, question answers. But even then, I still have that privilege. I'm an MP. That's why if you become an MP and still there are charges against you, you're still having that privilege. The court says that we need to stop it. The court already, of course, started with it, proceedings. Step by step. Still we have, thankfully the court intervened, but the Gunda Raj used to be there because of this reason. And the UP entire elections used to be like this. The Gundas used to win it. UP, Bihar was known for Gunda Raj. Slowly, it started now getting away with more. I'm not saying it's finished. It's still there, but way less. So there used to be small pockets of Gundas everywhere. And since no government could form majority, you had to take help from Gundas. They called them the Bahubalis that time. They lived their life like kings. So killing people very clearly. What you saw in gangs of Wasipur is actually true. So the people who were in power were actually controlling. So the courts had to intervene. And had they not intervened, India would actually be pretty bad state to live in. So we are much, you are not seeing that time. 1890s was pathetic. Police had no power. Nobody had no power. They used to be. And the best thing what happened for India was what? What do you think was the best thing that happened for India, which stopped Gunda Raj? After this, now every political party is after this. Whenever somebody loses, they say because of this we lost. The EVM stronghold they can be, but the point is even EVM machines they are not like the. Let me give you an example of earlier. If I was losing, I'll tell my 5-6 gundas to go quickly go, my friends. They will think they'll throw the ink into the ballot paper. They'll burn the ballot papers. It's very easy to do it. He comes, slap him, take his ID, but come one more, but that's what used to happen. What can you do then? Now EVMs actually change the course of the game to a large extent. So wherever EVMs came in, slowly they started getting away. The political process started getting better. Of course, I'm not saying it's absolutely scot free right now, but it has improved. So that time, though, 80s, it is very clear. If anybody wanted to become an MP, what do you need to do? Gunda Raj. It's actually true. UP Bihar were known for it. No contract, and then everything becoming online. It completely screwed the happiness. Because earlier, all the tenders used to be happening offline. If anybody would come, he would want to take a tender. Want a tender? बचना है कि नहीं बचना? So that was to be said at that time. तो जितना डिजिटलाइजेशन हो रहा है उसकी वजह से corruption, that's a fact. So the more digitalization happens, the more the corruption is going to reduce. Abhi bhi we have not reached that stage of digitalization. Very good example. Earlier times, there was no digitalization, so you had the papers changed. In Punjab, especially both where Patwaris used to be the kings. They could change one thing from here to there. Now, digitalization of land records happened. What is Patwari left for? Nothing. So, as soon as digitalization happened, and that's where I said technology has been a very good boon. If technology would not have been there, we would have been 100 years back. So technology has been really, really good in terms of controlling this. Now, similarly, with AI would coming up, what AI, if we put it into the processes, what AI is going to do is going to look into the faults and defects. Where is the money going? What is not correct? Sorry? You cannot stop it because you'll be behind everybody then. So the point is, no. I mean, like, the point is, the more technological advancement happen, the more problems are going to happen. Basically, they try to counter each other. NAD. They try to counter each other. So basically, that's in the okay. It's nowadays AI used in wars and everything. But interesting. Our AI would actually now, let's say, for example, if we want to flash Pakistan's air defense systems. So what we did, our AI sent out certain signals to them. So there are fake signals, sent out fake radars, fake aircraft signatures. So then what happened? Their AIs detected it. Basically, their machines detected, which are machine learning. They detected it. Their defense launches, they launched it. So then we got to know exactly where everything is there. Then our AI will tell the other planes, okay, come, you need to shoot. Okay, all the planes are very clearly. When we say there's a codes in planes, right? There's codes in plane. Like right now, Rafale Dassault Aviation decided not to share us the source code. What is the source code? Majority would do computers. There is something known as source code. Like every plane that you know is made in 80s, 90s, and 2000s. What is the language used at that time? C++, ADA, ADA, जिसे बोलते हैं. They were the ones coding on the planes. So I have a source code. If I don't know the source code file, I cannot change anything. So we said to Dassault Aviation in France, we need a source code because we want to put BrahMos into the Rafales. BrahMos have a range of 300 kilometers. We say, okay, we want to do that. They did that. Now, similarly, what our fifth generation is talking about stealth. Sixth generation is what? AI. So now what we are talking about is integrating AI into the aircrafts. Well, general role of pilot. Even the fifth generation with source code and everything, all the source codes, like a radar is telling something, the machinery is telling something, and that information is going to the pilot. And the pilot, it can also overrule the pilot saying that the fifth generation, no, you need to shoot first here. The sixth generation is where the artificial intelligence is working. If somebody is trying to fight you or hit you, so it will use its maneuver by itself without even letting you work upon it. So that's what we are talking about in terms of sixth generation aircrafts. So now back to the topic. So we have AI innovation, which is in a big way, and of course nobody can stop AI. So right now, in future, whether there's also another debate whether we require aircraft or we require drones. If you don't need people, you don't require them. Let the drones do everything. So, as we saw Terminator, there's very good possibility like that also. Where the drones are doing everything, the pilot's role is finished. Okay. Now we come to parliamentary proceedings. The first hour of parliament is called the question hour, where you can ask questions of the government. It is the first hour in which there are three types of questions: starred, unstarred, short notice. A starred question is where an oral answer is required. Supplementary questions can. If I'm an MP from Chandigarh, I say, okay, what is the progress of the you were talking about providing more Vande Bharat trains in Chandigarh. How many trains are coming? So he said, right now, one is coming. I was like, okay, when do we expect this train to be done? So that is what I mean by starred question. Unstarred question is I give a written question, he gives me a written answer to it. That is unstarred. No follow up. Short notice, oral question, but it has to be given 10 days time. 0 hour is an Indian innovation in which you can raise any debate, any topic or anything. In 0 hour, every MP is given some time, every party is given some time according to the number of seats, and then the MP gets to speak for that much amount of time. That is what we call as the 0 hour. It is India's innovation which came in the existence in the year 1962. First question hour is the most important because you can ask questions of the government. If I don't ask questions of the ministries, if I don't ask what is happening, how would I know? What is happening to the smart city project? What happened to the bullet train? You can ask n number of questions for it. So that is how you ask the government, no? What is happening? Is it clear? Now we come to motions. There are three types of motions. Substantive का मतलब होता है already motion के अंदर mentioned है क्यों. जैसे मेरा no confidence का मतलब क्या होता है? That the government has lost power, है ना? The government has lost power, so I believe the government will lose it if MPs don't support it. एक और एग्जांपल आ गया adjournment. इसका मतलब क्या होता है? पब्लिक नोटिस के लिए हमने थोड़े टाइम के लिए साइन सेट कर दिया. ऑलरेडी द पर्पस इज डिफाइंड. सब्स्टिट्यूट होता है एक मोशन की जगह दूसरा मोशन लगा देना. व्हाट सब्स्टिट्यूट? इंस्टेड ऑफ वन मोशन द अदर वन. सब्सिडरी होता है उसके साथ पार्ट ऑफ इट और एक्सीडिंग. इज इट क्लियर? सब्स्टिट्यूट क्या होता है? एक मोशन हटा के दूसरा लगा दिया. सब्सिडरी होता है उसके साथ. सो वी हैव थ्री टाइप्स ऑफ मोशन. फर्स्ट इज सब्सटैंटिव. ऑलरेडी मीन्स दैट देयर इज a complete mention of whatever is required. Substitute क्या होता है? In place. Subsidiary motion is addition. calling attention motion. Now we come to the meaning of calling attention. It's a parliamentary proceeding which can happen both in Lok Sabha and दोनों houses में हो सकता है. To draw attention of people for public importance, as the name suggests, calling attention. तो किसके लिए होएगा? Public interest. क्या? Calling attention. I call attention क्या होता है? To get up. सरकार को मैं उठाना चाहता हूँ तो क्या करूंगा? Calling attention motion. Just remember from this. Is it clear? So what is it for public interest? It can be introduced both in Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. So what do we need to do? इसको start करेंगे तो हम पहले presiding officer से पूछेंगे, सर मेरे को ये motion लेके आना है. I give my notice to him. So what do? I give my. I can be any MP, either from ruling party or opposition, to bring this statement. Third, अब मैंने बोला कि मेरे को कॉलिंग अटेंशन करना है कि कोविड बढ़ रहा है, मैं बोल सकता हूँ. What is the government taking steps? So who's going to answer? Health Minister. वो बताएगा अच्छा हम ये सब कर रहे हैं. We are looking into these steps. I hope you know COVID is on the rise. So I can ask the government now when the session happens, what are you doing for this? So the minister concerned will be answering. There will be no formal debate. वो बोलेगा कि मैं हमने ये सब किया हुआ है, मैं उसको वापस क्वेश्चन नहीं कर सकता. Is it clear? But I can say, okay sir, अगर आपने कर दिया है, ऑक्सीजन अवेलेबल है, how many doctors have been assigned, how many testing facilities have been done, I can ask him all this. But there's no formal debate. What does it mean? Calling attention. कोविड आ गया, उठ जाओ. याद रख लोगे? इसके अंदर होता है लोकसभा और राज्यसभा. किसको नोटिस दोगे? डिसाइडिंग ऑफिसर. तो भी एमपी इंट्रोड्यूस कर सकता है. मिनिस्टर जो कंसर्न्ड है वो बताएगा. फिर क्या है? देयर आर नो डिबेट्स बट सप्लीमेंट्री क्वेश्चंस. सर बेड कितने हैं? सर ऑक्सीजन का क्या है? लॉट ऑफ पीपल डाइड बिकॉज ऑफ ऑक्सीजन. इज इट क्लियर? दिस इज द केस. इज इट क्लियर? Importance strengthens transparency and responsiveness. Acts as soft accountability to use effectively to criticize the government. Next we come to censure motion. Censure motion का मतलब है कोई भी बिल है, ये जनरली बजट के टाइम पे बहुत ज्यादा डिस्कशन हो चुकी है, बिकॉज हमारे को बिल पास करने के लिए, बजट पास करने के लिए कितने दिन मिलते हैं? Anyone? How many days time do I get to pass the budget? अब 28 दिन हो गए, कुछ बात नहीं हुई, सीधा क्या कर देंगे? गलटोन. गलटोन इज विदाउट डिस्कशन सब कुछ कर दो. हाँ, 28 डेज में बजट पास होना चाहिए. 75 डेज होता है फाइनेंशियल बिल के लिए. तो 28 डेज के अंदर बजट व्हेन यू अनाउंस है 28 डेज में पास होना चाहिए, तो सीधा वोटिंग हो जाएगी विदाउट एनी डिबेट. पास करना है कि नहीं, सीधा यस या नो. गलटोन. क्लोजर बाय कंपार्टमेंट्स मींस डिफेंस का बजट डिस्कस कर लिया, पास करना है. फाइनेंस का बजट डिस्कस किया, पास करना है. इसको simple closure, it's having one member moves the matter having been sufficiently discussed and put to ये बोलते हैं. अब आगे नो कॉन्फिडेंस एंड सेंसर मोशन. नो कॉन्फिडेंस सिर्फ किस में हो सकता है? लोकसभा. राज्यसभा तो परमानेंट हाउस है, तो नो कॉन्फिडेंस कैन नॉट टेक प्लेस. अगेन हाउ मेनी मेंबर्स हैव टू साइन? 50 मेंबर्स. राइट डाउन. पहले कितना है? 50 मेंबर्स साइन करेंगे. Mentioned under Article 75(3) of Constitution can only be brought in Lok Sabha. How many members have to sign? 50. Can only be brought in, not in Rajya Sabha, because Rajya Sabha is a can only be moved in this. If it is passed, the government has to resign. It has been in 2 cases. Atal Bihari Vajpayee government and Morarji Desai government was brought under no confidence, but Morarji Desai resigned prior to. So no confidence is when the government does not have power. Censure motion. Censure motion can be brought about in both Lok Sabha and second, no resignation required. It is only to censor. Censor का मतलब क्या होता है? Rebuke. हमने किया हुआ ना? Chiding. The government for its unresponsiveness can be passed both in Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. Privilege motion and adjournment. Privilege motion होता है, as the word suggests. Privilege क्या होता है? अगर मैं बोलूँ is privileged person, special benefits. If I speak, I'm a minister and I give any information which is wrong. So Rajas or any information, any MP can bring about a privilege motion against me. Is it clear? I give state wrong facts. As an MP, I'm supposed to give right facts in the parliament. If I state any wrong facts, that is what we say. इसको बोलते हैं breach of parliamentary privileges. कोई भी ऐसी चीज मैं बोलूं पार्लियामेंट में जो करेक्ट ना हो, उसको क्या बोल देंगे? प्रिविलेज। कैसी प्रिविलेजेस होती हैं? मिसलीडिंग द हाउस, withholding information or obstructing MPs. What three types of privileges are there? Withholding information, misleading the house, गलत information दे दो. Is it clear? Rahul Gandhi 2021 moved this against the health minister for misleading statements of COVID vaccine. Similarly, P. Chidambaram moved it for a statement against moved against P. Chidambaram for a statement against Mumbai attacks. Adjournment क्या होता है? Calling attention क्या होता है? Government को उठाना. As the name suggests, calling attention. Is it clear? उठा देना. Now we come to adjournment. Adjournment वैसे मतलब क्या होता है? थोड़ी देर के लिए टाइम पीरियड साइड हो जाए. याद रखो, adjournment can only be moved in लोकसभा. एक और ऐसा मोशन कौन सा जो सिर्फ लोकसभा में हो सकता है, वो कौन सा है? नो कॉन्फिडेंस मोशन. So there are two motions which can be moved in Lok Sabha: adjournment and no confidence. How many members are required? Same for no confidence adjournment. 50 members. Speaker must admit its urgency. Is it clear? A motion to draw the attention of the House is चीज के लिए matters of urgent public. Is it clear? Matters of urgent public importance के लिए क्या हो जाएगा? Adjournment. Interrupts the formal business of the House. जो भी चल रहा है वो तब के तब क्या हो जाएगा? रुक जाएगा. Motion of thanks क्या होता है? The first speech given by the president. Generally motion of thanks लिखता कौन है? The government. President बोलता है मेरी government इस साल ये करेगी. उसके बाद इस पे voting होती है. If the voting is not passed, the government has to then take a confidence motion, because that means people, the parliamentarians are not in favor of the government. So Article 87 states that the president addresses both the house at the beginning of the first session of each year or of the new Lok Sabha. इसमें क्या होता है president speech में? Government इस साल क्या करेगी, क्या agenda है, क्या ये सब है, सब लिखा जाता है. That is what we say. Motion of thanks is moved by a member of the ruling party and seconded by another. A detailed discussion follows in both the houses. इस पे कोई amendment भी लेके आ सकते हैं opposition, but generally amendment pass नहीं होता. जैसे government ने amendment लेके आए थे. Is it clear? 2023 में they brought an amendment saying that government ने तो job opportunities नहीं दे पाए, unemployment नहीं दे पाए. This amendment was not passed. अगर amendment pass हो जाए, automatically that shows that government has lost power. Next we come to parliamentary devices. Half an hour discussion, and this is the last. Short duration discussion. अगर मैं call attention motion करूं, क्या debate हो सकता है? नहीं. There is no debate in call attention motion. Now we come to the only two things which are left, which is very important: half an hour discussion and short duration. Half an hour का मतलब half an hour नहीं होता है. Half an hour क्या होता है? A motion moved. क्यों किया जाता है? Clarification on a reply given by ministers to start and unstart. Minister ने तो reply दे दिया, आपने बोला भाई मेरे को इसके बारे में और discussion चाहिए, तो आप क्या पूछोगे? Half an hour. It's a further check ना. आप कुछ भी पूछो, वो कुछ भी बोल दे. हाउ डू यू हैव इट चेक ऑन इट? तो उसको चेक रखने के लिए हमने क्या बनाया है? दो टाइप की मोशंस है। हाफ एन आवर का मतलब है कोई भी चीज वो बोले पार्लियामेंट, उसके लिए व्हाट्स अ प्रिविलेज मोशन? If three things: the minister has misled the house, secondly, given wrong information, third, obstructs an MP from speaking. It must feature relate to an answered parliamentary, because parliamentary question तभी आप रिलीज कर सकते हो तो कोई भी स्टार्ट अनस्टार्ट क्वेश्चन होना ही चाहिए. What is the other condition? Both written और oral form में भी पूछ सकते हो. जैसे हमने क्वेश्चन पूछते हैं, क्वेश्चन पूछने के तरीके क्या हैं? रिटन और oral. Start oral, unstart written. So the same way I can ask, but it has to be first. This minister has to speak something. Then only I can bring a half an hour discussion. तो अगर उसने कुछ बोला होगा तब मैं बोलूंगा. Second of all क्या करूंगा? After that what do I do? Both I can ask it in the oral form or the must be of any matter of public importance. Third, speaker कितने दिन लगाएगा? सबसे important 3 days for such discussion. Voting नहीं होती बस. क्या नहीं होती? Half an hour discussion. Speaker भाई साहब ने कुछ बोल दिया. So one minister spoke something. I said no, I want more clarification. तो मैं क्या करूंगा? Half an hour discussion pass करूंगा. It can be written form or oral form. Public importance का अभी होना चाहिए. Written public importance होना चाहिए. उसी क्वेश्चन पे पूछ सकता हूँ जिसपे उसने आंसर दिया. Is it clear? कितने दिन लगाएंगे? 3 days. कोई वोटिंग नहीं होगी. In 2023, MP raised a half-hour discussion over discrepancy in the data related to MSP procurement figures given to a written reply. Minister ने बोला इतना MSP पे procure किया. तो कहते no, the data is not correct. इतना तो बना ही नहीं. Is it clear? So it can only be done. Now we come minimum selling price for this wheat. It's only for 21 crops. MSP is not given for every crop. MSP is given on rice, MSP is given on wheat. That's when Punjab people are growing wheat and rice. Mustard also. Very limited things are given MSP. If MSP was given everything, the entire problem that you're facing will go away. Sugarcane is a guaranteed MSP. And surprisingly, MSP is not given in every state. MSP is given in Punjab, Haryana, but not in Bihar. So what happens? The people from Bihar used to send their rice to Punjab so that they could sell it. That is it. Next, short duration discussion. To raise any issue of public importance that do not require full-fledged motion or voting. Short hour discussion कब introduce किया था? Most important, 1953. Initiated by giving notice to the speaker or chairman. Speaker can allow 2 days for a week for such discussion. Short duration. Half an hour का मतलब क्या होता है? Already MP ने आंसर दे दिया, उस पे रेज करेंगे. Limited for 2 hours. No formal motion is moved. No voting and discussion. Is it clear? Simple सा. ये कब इंट्रोड्यूस किया गया? 1953. नोटिस किसको देंगे? स्पीकर और चेयरमैन. लोकसभा राज्यसभा दोनों में हो सकता है. 2 दिन 2 घंटे 1 हफ्ते में डिस्कशन होगी. कोई वोटिंग नहीं हो सकती. इज दैट क्लियर? नेक्स्ट, अगर मैं बात कर रहा था, सबसे पहले तो हमने बात किया एलोकेशन ऑफ सीट्स. यस और नो? 2008 में अंडर जस्टिस कुलदीप लास्ट डिलिमिटेशन आया था जिसने सिर्फ SC ST की सीट चेंज की. नाउ द क्वेश्चन दे सेड is allocation of the seats in Parliament. Andhra had 42, Haryana no. Seats in the House's Constitution 2004, basis of this one. Okay. Seats in the House for this. Over here 42, Arunachal 2, Assam 14, Bihar 40, Chhattisgarh 11, Goa 2, 26 Gujarat. How many MPs from Haryana? 10. Himachal, Jharkhand 14, Karnataka 28, Kerala 20, Madhya Pradesh 29. This one. This is the 543 seats, how they're divided. Is it clear? That is the case of it. Now they will ask you which states have maximum. Of course, which state has maximum? 80. Is it clear? How many states does it have? 80. Secondly, what is important to go through this is understand the following. This one. Where is the maximum seats for SCs? They'll ask. ऐसे को पूछ सकते हैं. So just go through that. सबसे ज़्यादा कहाँ पे है? Scheduled caste के लिए? Is it clear? For tribal सबसे ज़्यादा कहाँ पे है? Madhya Pradesh. So you'll have to go through this chart. Is it clear? Just to make it through. ऐसे को क्वेश्चन आएगा. Next, legislative procedure in parliament. सबसे बहुत सिंपल है. हमारे पार्लियामेंट में 4 टाइप के बिल्स हैं हमारे पास. एक होता है ऑर्डिनरी बिल, दूसरा होता है फाइनेंशियल बिल, तीसरा मनी बिल. मनी बिल का कौन सा आर्टिकल है? फाइनेंशियल बिल 117(1) एंड 17(2). कोई भी संविधान को बदलने वाला बिल है उसको क्या बोल देंगे? कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल बिल. एग्जाम्पल क्या हो गया? आर्टिकल 370. ये क्या हो गया? कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल अमेंडमेंट बिल. ऑर्डिनरी बिल का कोई एग्जाम्पल दे सकते हो आप? Anyone can give me an example of ordinary bill? Anyone of ordinary bill? Yeah. Say for example, हमारे को अभी लॉ चेंज हुआ था related to your motor vehicle act, NDA. That will come in ordinary bill. उन्होंने बोला चलान्स महंगे कर दो, ये सब कर दो. फाइंडिंग्स सिमिलरली अगर आप फर्स्ट स्टार में किसी की मदद करते हो उसको बोलते हैं आपको क्या मिलेगा? 5,000 रुपीज मिलेगा, गोल्डन आवर. सिमिलरली आपसे कोई पूछे इफ यू रेस्क्यू समबडी इन एन एक्सीडेंट विल बी पेड 5,000 बाय द गवर्नमेंट. Rescuing somebody in the golden hour. This is already passed MBA, Motor Vehicle Act, but it's not more than twice. No, that's also written because पता लगा then you see people are getting in the accident that you are rescuing everybody 5,000. Like no, that is only twice. Is it clear? Twice. Like yeah, right. Twice a year. So that's also a limitation. It's smart. I agree. Then yeah. So they had to think of it. Similarly, they found out spots which are causing a lot of accidents. They put up lights there, put up slowing points. Motor Vehicle Act also mandates now every car which is coming should come with airbags and your seat belts. So Motor Vehicle Act kept on adding to further things. So earlier Indian cars were not known for safety. You know this. We had less than 1-star ratings also. Most of the cars. So then they said no, airbags are compulsory. So then everything started happening on this. So how can the lives be safe? Similarly, challans were made expensive. If challans would be expensive, people will have to follow the norms. Is it clear? Very clearly, if there's a challan of 10 lakh rupees for jumping a red light or 10,000 rupees also, nobody is going to do that. One challan comes, every like sorry. That's a fact, right? So, but then the police people also will not get anything because, and that's why they, in all the better countries, best developed countries, what they did, they made every policing The police does not do anything. वहाँ पे police is not like sitting in the no, not in the booth or not in your that thing in the cars like in India and the nakas. No, they are sitting in their offices. So even if you have to do something, if you have to file a complaint, there is AI helping you put in everything. This has happened. This is the case. The policing has also become more of this. Okay. So we have 4 types of bill. First is ordinary, money, financial, and constitutional amendment. What is ordinary bill? I've told you. Financial bill, money bill was something which was given like an Aadhaar bill, which takes out money out of the consolidated fund of India. Anything to do with money from consolidated, because at the end of the day, the government is supposed to give subsidy. Aadhaar was to be linked because government was to give money to people who are going to schools, children. So that has to come from consolidated fund of India. Similarly, Manrega. Yes. Yes. Then there's a financial bill which is not concerned with money, would be called financial revenue and everything. It is just a thing. We're going to explain it. Constitution Amendment, Article 370. We decided to add CAA. Any other example of Constitution Amendment? Women reservation. That is all that. Anything to do with anything which is other 108th Amendment addition, anything which is amendment which comes, that will be a. Okay, who introduces the bill? There are 2 ways of introducing the bill. A government can introduce or an MP. If the government introduces it, it's called a government bill. If an MP introduces it, it's called a private member. In the first reading, the introductory stage, publicated in Gazette of India. We publicize. Then no discussion at this stage. Either there are 2 ways. You directly get it printed, or you take permission of the speaker and you introduce it and then it gets printed. So that's the entire way in which the bill comes. A bill, when passed and signed by president, is called a law. A bill passed by the president will be called a law. So till that time it's called a bill. First of all, what are types of bill? Money bill, financial bill, ordinary bill, and constitutional bill. Who can introduce these bills? MP or the government. When I say government, it's a government bill. It's introduced by MP. MLAs can do it in the states. They can introduce in the states. This is the parliamentary laws are central laws. The states are the state laws. Is it clear? What is the first bill? Introduction of stage, publication, and finally discussion stage. Is it clear? We'll be continuing with this. So this would be something that I'll do it day after now. Right? Start with maths. Come here.